Hey, hopefully I can help you out with this problem. So I think this is the problem that you listed. You have horizontal asymptotes of -5 because you can never have 0 in a denominator. And if you put -5 in for x, that'll give you a 0. Here, if you put 0 in for x, that'll give you a 0 in the denominator. So that's why your horizontal asymptotes are that way. The y equals -1 is a horizontal asymptote, and there are 3 rules for that to determine how that works. And if you want me to show you that, I can just place a comment. But it seems like your teacher is asking for least common denominator. So on this third number here, I'm just going to go ahead and put the denominator as 1 because -1 divided by 1 is still -1, so it doesn't really change the equation. So the first denominator we have to deal with is x plus 5. So we know x plus 5 is going to be in our least common denominator. And then we also have an x. So we know that x is going to be in our least common denominator. And then the 1. So times 1 doesn't really change anything. So you can leave your least common denominator like that, or you can go ahead and distribute that x. So you can go to and distribute it, and you can write it like this if you prefer, but either are correct. To do that out and simplify your equation, it would be y equals, so to the x plus 5, we would be doing a multiply by x to get that least common denominator. So if you do it to the bottom of the fraction, you've got to do it to the top of the fraction. The denominator and numerator need to stay the same. All right, so if we do that, and then your second one, in order to end up with x plus 5 times x, you need it to multiply this by x plus 5. But again, if you do it to the top or the bottom, you've got to do it to the other. You have to keep those balanced. So I got x plus 5 at the top there. And on this one, we don't have either. We don't have, in the denominator, we don't have x. So we need to do times x. But again, do it to denominator, you got to do it to numerator. And on the bottom, we don't have x plus 5. So we need to do that as well. So now you can go ahead and simplify these. So you're going to end up with 3x here. You're going to end up with the x squared plus 5x here. You're going to end up with -16x, and I believe -80. 16 times 5. 80. And then x squared plus 5x, and then minus x squared plus 5x. So I'm just writing these all in, just kind of getting them all to have the same denominator. So you see now they all have the same denominator, and we can now put them all together. We can simplify them since they have a common denominator now. So the denominator will stay the same. And again, you can write it as x squared plus 5x, or you can write it as x plus 5 times x. On the top, we've got 3x minus 16x and a minus x squared and a plus 5x. So I'm going to put all my x's together. So I've got 3x minus 16x. So 3 x's minus 16 x's, and then minus 5 x's. So I'm going to get -18 x's there. So I've done positive 3x. I've done -16x. I've done -5x. I've put all those together. I do have a -x squared. Put that in the front just because it's a higher power. And you also have a -80. So here it is simplified. I don't know if your teacher wants you to write it like this. I don't know if she wants you to factor it out. In factored form, you could take that -1 out, and you would get x squared plus 18x plus 80 and x plus 5 by taking the x out. And then you can further factor this by saying what multiplies to get 80 and adds to get 18. That would be positive 10 and positive 8. Positive 10 times positive 8 multiply to get 80 and they add to get 18. So your factored form of this, if your teacher wants it, again, your teacher might just want this. I'm not sure. But your factored form would be x plus 10, x plus 8 over your common denominator, which is x plus 5. It'd be really nice if some of these canceled out, but they just don't. Also, since both of your powers are the same, that horizontal asymptote rule I was telling you about, since both your powers are the same, the rule is you take the coefficients of the powers of the greatest power. So like the coefficient here is a -1, the coefficient here is a +1. So you'd get y equals -1 over +1, which is why you have that horizontal asymptote of y equals -1. So that's just if you need to know the asymptotes. But here is your factored form, and here is your unfactored form. So I'm not sure if your teacher wants this or this. Hope this helps you out. If you have any further questions or you have any questions you need some more help with, just let me know.